Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today it's another weird kind of video. But before we get into it, I am going to say that I do not support anything that got to do with culture appropriation and all that. If you are doing it and I see you, I am definitely calling you out. And it happened that a palm colored woman slid into a black woman's DM telling her that if black people want equality, that black people should be ready to share their hairstyle and some other things. And I am asking, so if we don't share our culture and all that, there will not be equality and all that. And then that boils down to seeing people that look like me in schools, at work, and other places being discriminated, probably because they have locks or they have their hair grown out or something, or wearing braids. I have seen some people even with braids at places of work, and they were told that their hair is probably is not professional to their own standard. I've seen people go for interview and they were actually specifically told their hair is not good enough, right? It is okay for colored people to do it and it's something they can appreciate, right? But it is not okay for people that look like me to do it. You know what? Let's get into this video.
Some of y'all are so deeply unserious when it comes to matters of culture, heritage, cultural appropriation, that type of stuff, that I feel like the audacity has really messed with your capability to think. Case in point, this person who decided to jump into my DMs to tell me that if black people want equality, we should be willing to share our hairstyle. Now, the majority of black people do not care how other people wear their hair. Please wear your hair how you want. However, what we care about is the fact that we cannot wear these same styles that you can wear and be applauded for and adored, and people will, highlight you. The same style on us brings criticism and ridicule and even us losing job opportunities and getting kicked out of school. The same styles. The former follower goes, black people want equality and I want that too, but we all have to make sacrifices. Did you just say that black people need to make sacrifices in order to be treated equally like a human being? Sacrifices. And I love this. Culture is meant to be shared. Culture is meant to be shared when there's something fair to be exchanged, not when we are combating discrimination for our culture. You can't take something from us and then demand that you have the right to do so under the guise of equality. That makes no sense. Y'all, I tried. I really tried. Essentially, I said, you're more concerned with your right to be able to wear a style that we're still facing discrimination for than the discrimination itself. I said, you don't see a problem with that. And at least they answered fairly. Absolutely not. If we went by that logic, no one could do anything with their hair. Girl, we are talking about discrimination. Like, we can't do stuff with our hair without discrimination or body policing. Why do they always gotta bring Jesus in this? Jesus mind his own business. I think I got a little grumpy on this part where I said, wow, sacrifices. My folks were literally stolen from our homes, stripped of our culture, language, and heritage, forced to work for centuries, forced into a racial caste system for decades, and still face discrimination today. And you want to talk about sacrifices. I stand by it. I stand by what I said. So this is where I had to hang up. Old girl says, girl. First of all, don't call me girl. Like, are you crazy? I said we all have to make sacrifices, like Rosa Parks sacrificed part of her life to speak up for herself and to change the way things were. Nelson Mandela lost 27 years in prison for human rights. MLK died for equality. You're naming a bunch of black folks. You're naming a bunch of black folks. You're not naming enough white folks doing enough of the sacrificing. And therein lies the problem. Black people always have to fight and lead just to be able to be treated as human beings. Notice how we've been fighting for civil rights the majority of the time. Civil rights. We haven't even gotten to equality. We just want to be treated civilly. And all this started because we were talking about some braids. Cornrows to be specific. I want to ask, was I the asshole here?
I want you to follow her stitch because her stitch is very interesting. You know, to the non-blacks, this is a PSA. We don't care what kind of hairstyle you guys do, all right? The thing is, when you're wearing the hairstyle, is it because you want to do it, or it's trending, or you feel like you could do it better? because those are 3 questions that I need an answer for. And the reason why I say that is because you could never do better than us when it comes to hairstyling. We have a different type of texture where pretty much that we can do anything we want to do. We can braids, we can lock it, you know, we can straighten it without chemical free. We could pretty much go into any trans or any transitional. I remember I was looking at one of her comments when one of the people them said, "Oh, we started wigs." No, you did not. Wigs started in Egypt. Okay? Egypt is part of Africa. Africans are majority have mixed race and stuff, but they're still considered black. Regardless if they don't want to be considered black, they are. They're integrated, but they're considered black. And those wigs were for people in higher elite status, kings and queens, ambassadors, people that was basically not considered as subjects. And even the subjects had wore wigs because they were working alongside with the people them in the royals in high society. Then Europeans started to look at that and basically copied it, all right, and came up with their brands. And some of their wigs did not match their complexion. It did not match their status. It pretty much made them look old, okay? While you guys were trying to do the type of style we did, you couldn't do it because there's something says there's no comparison when you're competing because there's no competition. Moving along with our hairstyle, I noticed that a lot of what's trending is the locks, whether it's sister locks, fork locks, the thick locks, whatever. And people of our country, of people of our melanin, we are going to places where people want to forbid us or not allow us to wear that. You remember the young man in Texas that goes to Barber High School, okay? It's supposed to be called Barber Independent High School, but the title alone is not so independent. And just listening to it, Barber, meaning that the hair has to be groomed and cut and so forth. Now, he has a law. There's a law that protects him called the Crown Acts law. And we had to get a law to protect us, to allow us to have lock hair or natural styling hair or hair with beads. Years ago, our hairstyling was forbidden. We wasn't allowed to have beads. We had to cover our hair with bonnets, handkerchiefs, scarves, because they didn't want to see our hair. Then later on, when we started showing our hair, before we had relaxers and Jericho, I think there was the 2 worst things that ever happened, but it was already done. But when people went back into the Afro and the natural styling with chemical free and putting locks, that became another problem for y'all because you guys felt like you needed to do it too. And I mean some of y'all. And then when you guys did it, it was acceptable in your culture. But if you go into the Rastafarian culture in the diaspora where it originally comes from, which is, it really comes from Africa, but it comes from Jamaica, we were stonewall. They were stonewall. They were ridiculed. They were chastised. Because according to the British government and people that colonized Jamaica, stated that it was obtuse, it was obscene, it was low class, and it was low degree, that all men should cut their hair. And some of the Jamaicans keep that lifestyle because they claim that it's the Christianity lifestyle is more better. And Rastafarian lifestyle with the hair locks is uncultured, okay? But when you guys do it, everybody likes it. It's swell. It's cool. So there's a difference. If you're going to mimic a style or take a style because you want it, it's fine. But when we get ridiculed, you could turn around and say, well, I got locks in my hair. What's the problem? I mean, I got the style because of them. So why can't they get locks? I never hear none of y'all say that. I always hear you guys look the opposite way. Okay? And that's the difference. So what she was saying in her comment section about the hair and stuff, we don't care what you do with your hair. But don't try to compete and talk about that you own it. Okay? It's the same thing when Bo Derek did the braids and the hair and the braids. It was a style, it was an icon that everybody wanted to do it. When they go to the Caribbean, they always want that hair to be done. But when black people did it, oh, how did you get your hair done like that? Oh, it looks like that? Oh, wow, you got to take it out. You see the difference? There shouldn't be no difference. One was the original, the other one was just a McCoy. It was not the real original, okay? One was original, the other one was a Maverick, meaning that it was not original. And if you're going to look at a style, you should also support all styles. I never hear none of y'all support the Crown's Act, and some of y'all have locks in your hair. I never hear you guys support the Crown's Act, and you have braids in your hair. I never hear you guys support natural styling, and some of y'all have natural styling in your hair. Okay? And that's to the non-blacks. Okay?
So this is all I got from this video, and I am going to say that before I really did not used to care if they wear braids or not, but I do care right now because I have seen so many videos where black people are going through so many things because of their locks or their braids, right? So I do not appreciate it anymore. I don't want to see you all wear it. And where I am more concerned is where she said, if you people want equality, you are gonna let us do our hair like you. Now let's get into this. It is okay. It is not okay for we to wear locks, braid our hairs, and come out with our natural hair and all that. It is unprofessional. It's ghetto, you know, it doesn't look good. I have seen so many black people that went for interview with their hair, and they actually said that I actually went to the salon to get the hair like, you know, looking not so huge, but still they told them that your hair does not look professional. I have seen someone who got his hair cornrow, like braided out like mine, like this, right? And the school actually suspended him for a whole 1 year. And the court also had the audacity to say that it does not violate, the school did not violate Crown Act, right? So all these things that are what I look at, and I am saying I do not appreciate it on other people because you all do not value it. We've been doing this here all this year, and you all never saw it as something good. But now, it is something you all want to do. I want to tell us that culture is being shared, that it is not culture appropriation and all that. See, I don't care if some things are being shared. There are some things, some people said they do not want you to share this with them, and just leave it for them. Stop dancing around the corner. So what you are saying is that we do not deserve anything good. We do not deserve to have anything great as human beings, right? If we do not share our hair or share some things with you all, there will not be equality. That really shows how corrupt or how dirty-minded some people's thoughts are. Because if somebody could come on the internet to come and lecture her, to tell her that Nelson Mandela, it took him 26 years to get his freedom, and MLK died while fighting for this. So what have you all done? What have you died for, fighting for, and all that? I mean, these people are really unbelievable, but man, but you see them every day showing up their attitude and what they stand for and all that. So anything that got to do with culture appropriation and all that, count me out. If I see you, I call you out. Why? Because it is not okay for my people to do it. But it's okay for Kim Kardashian. Like, it's okay for you all to do it. It's more presentable when you all do it. But the people that got it cannot wear it. I have actually seen where a woman actually went to Asian store to buy hair, you know, for her hair, you know. And when she got there, guess what the person in the store told her? She told her that her hair is because she has this beautiful afro that everybody would die for. If you say healthy, black, beautiful afro hair, so beautiful, right? And guess what she was told in an Asian store? That her head is too big, but she turned around to see an Afro wig that she is going to sell to people. But she does not like her own natural Afro, but she has wig, Afro wig, that she is going to sell out to people. The hypocrisy is just crazy. So yeah, let me know what you all think in the comment section. That's all I got to say, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.